Hi there, and welcome to Ian's N-Gauge channel. I'm Ian. In a previous video I showed how I'd performed some operational testing, which had led me to the conclusion that my track plan needed to change. In this video I'm going to do some further testing, this time of long trains, before I commit to implementing any changes to the plan. During my operational testing I'd mostly been running either single locos or short trains around Shelfington. The aim of this testing was to work out if all of the points were in sensible positions and faced in the right direction to determine if I could carry out the operations I intended to. However, what I hadn't tested was whether or not my locos were capable of pulling long trains around the inner loop, and especially into the area where Mantlethorpe Station will be. This was a concern as I don't have much space, and that particular area has the tightest curve on the whole layout. So, I decided to perform a test involving a train made up of a long rake of coaches that would give me the answer. As you can see, there are 7 pieces of rolling stock in the train, which includes 4 Mark I coaches, a Mark II coach, a Gov van, and a 4-wheel CCT van. Of course, I know that by many people's standards this isn't a particularly long train. However, it's longer than I'll typically be using, and it's only just short enough to fit into one of the hidden passing loops at the back of the layout. The main reason I chose this length though was that it's the perfect length rake to fill the whole of the curve going into Mantlethorpe Station area. Oh, I've included the 4-wheel CCT van as it should definitely show up any tight spots along the way as its wheels aren't articulated. As well as the pulling test, I thought I'd also make it a test about track operation, so decided to start the test in the Ledgetown Quarry drop-off siding. So, let's get started. Here you can see my wonderful Class 33 loco approaching the camera as I lumber around in the background getting ready to change points. The loco proceeds around the inner loop off camera and reappears heading off into Mantlethorpe Station area to couple up to the rake of coaches. We now switch directions and pull out onto the inner loop. Around we go and reappear after traversing the first curve out of Mantlethorpe successfully. Now, here comes the big test. Will the train be able to handle the tightening curve and get back into Mantlethorpe Station? So there you see the train encompassing the whole of the curve. And success! Now, one more time around for luck. This time we'll slow down to a stop and see if that has any ill effects. Well, wasn't that excellent? Here comes the big hand to perform the uncoupling. And off we go again to head back off into the sidings. There's the big hand with a quick change of points, and now we head off into one of the sidings that will be part of Ledgetown Quarry Yard. So, that was a great test with a great outcome. Okay, I must admit that when I filmed this, I already knew that the 33 would be able to perform the task admirably. How, I hear you ask? Well, apart from it being an excellent loco, I'd already performed the test with my Class 03 shunter, which I have to admit I thought would fail miserably. Here's how it got on. Oh, I've speeded up the footage for this one. Well, wasn't that great? Who'd have thought the tiny shunter would have so much pulling power? Well, if the Class 03 could do it, what about the Class 08? The Class 08 was my most temperamental loco, and the real test here wasn't whether or not it could pull the rake of coaches, but rather whether it could do it without cutting out. I'll play this one at normal speed so you can hear the sound, as well as me lumbering around and changing points. Here we are approaching the coaches, and that was a nice coupling. I'm finding that with my new Wi-Fi throttle I can control the locos a lot more accurately, especially when I remember to switch on active braking. I reduced the speed too quickly there, and a little too early, but never mind. Look at that, great uncoupling work there, even managing to maintain wheel contact with the track so the sounds kept playing. So now it's on the way back home. Around the inner loop, out of sight. And the final bit of the journey is pulling into the sidings and coming to a stop. There's the big hand changing the points. And now I'm releasing the brake. Typical, it's cut out. I'm actually surprised it got this far. So I give it a helping hand and away we go again. If you notice, the Class 33 in the background has sat there with its light on since the Class 08 began its run. So there's definitely power at the track at that position. And just to let you know, the track was cleaned before I started filming too. I can't be sure, but I think there must be something wrong with the Class 08 pickups. Oh well. Anyway, we finally get the Class 08 home, and overall it was a successful test, and I don't have to worry about how tight the curves are when pulling long rakes of rolling stock. Okay, so that's about it for this update. If you've got any hints, tips, useful tools or techniques to pass on to a beginner in N-Gauge modelling, or if you simply want to say hello, then please do so in the comment section. Anything and everything you've got to say will be greatly appreciated. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully I'll have another update soon. Bye!